Cassius.
No, you beat me again first at that pay-per-view, and then Cassius cashed in his fight for the right straight after the match.
Yeah, and I still lost the title, and I cried for about an hour. That's a lie, I didn't really.
It was 2 hours.
Yeah, 2.5, if I'm being honest, but...
Just let me, have a look. Who beat you in this? It was, come on. No, it's trying to find this, yeah, it was,
I think it would have been around 2009.
Let It Rock, the Time Attack match. Yeah, I'm just quickly gone through the title changes. 14th of March, so nearly 4 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And there's still resentment.
Oh, there always will be.
Yeah. Alright.
I'll just drop the line into Matt every now and again, and I'll be like, remember that time when I beat you?
I can't believe River, after all the work I did for him writing matches, took the world title out off me a day after my birthday. Unbelievable.
That's outstanding. I never knew that.
Yeah.
It gets kind of worse. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Where is it? No, I'm pretty sure there was a title change here. Oh, wait, no. Where is it? Now I'm trying to think of because the next match after it is a rematch. I'm just trying to think, was there a change in it before Cassius showed up?
No, same to you on the rematch.
It was Pain, I think, and it was quite a good match from what I remember. And I think the Saint won it by hitting his finisher off the top rope. And then obviously they're playing it up to like the crowd and all the emotion of like him doing it and retaining it, and then all of a sudden they say plays and you just think, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Saint did retain it.
Yeah, but then...
and then I lost it.
Yeah.
I thought River actually for once did quite a good job with that match, you know, he made you look really strong. Because I know when, I remember that Cassius came out and I think he hit Dragon's Fury on you and you kicked out of it and he needed to hit the Shockwave and the Frog Splash to finish you off even after.
And I think even the Saint hit like his finisher and
yeah,
like at the time you thought surely he's not gonna not lose the cash in, but obviously it happened and history is history.
You'd hit a Saints Row and a Promised Slam and it would not keep Cassius down.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
Anyway, back into the question. One feud that would never work, Sainty.
Oh, bloody hell. I'd probably say, like, at the time when they were sort of massive, like trash TV, like, I could never imagine Berserker and Hobo having a feud, because at the time when they were just churning out comedy after comedy, it just wouldn't work. It'd just break down into, like, absolute insanity like it usually did. And I mean, Hobo had a heel turn like later down the line, so it could have maybe worked then, but it wasn't. I don't think Hobo put what he could have done into the heel turn, so in the end it sort of fizzled out, even though he had like quite a big angle with the association. But yeah, I'd say Hobo versus Berserker in the trash TV days, it just never worked. And I think Matt would probably agree with me as well.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't see them working unless you had the third member in, like when Enforcer came in, and possibly turn one of them heel with Enforcer to go up against 2 against 1 maybe.
I mean, personally, I'm gonna have to toot my own lousy promoing horn for this one, but let me just think. I think I'm gonna have to say myself as a heel when I did the crappiest heel turn in history for about 4 months against Abe Abercorn. It was just a case of, it was when I was running the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker thing, which I believe both of you were around for.
I'm trying to remember it. I've been about a bit too long to remember all the ins and outs, but I think with that, if it was the other way round, like when Abe had his heel turn, he did it really well. So if it was, say, like a face Yuryu and a heel Abercorn, it'd work quite well. But like you say,
yeah, the other way around, it would just be crap.
Some people don't suit being a heel, and some people don't suit being a face. And I think you'll probably agree by saying that you're in your element as a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you used to be like almost like a sort of Rey Mysterio kind of, the plucky underdog that you really rooted for.
Yeah. Even though people keep telling me to turn heel.
I think
that's Bull. Don't listen to Bull.
Yeah. I think like sometimes people will just say that because I think a turn can freshen up a character, but I think you've got to exhaust all the avenues before you can feasibly turn someone. Like at the time, I remember my first heel turn. It came out of the blue, but at the time I think the Saint had done everything he could do as a face. Like he'd feuded with the top heels, he'd beat the top heels, and it was just a case of him just like lingering around the upper mid card sort of main event scene, just sort of almost being a John Cena of 6WF. So when I finally was turned heel for the first time, it just opened up so many avenues.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes a heel turn is what some characters need. I know when I turned heel for the first time, God, way back, I mean, that really gave me the thing, will to push on. 3 months later, I was hardcore and TAW world champion.
Right. Next question is going to be one character you would welcome back tomorrow. But if you say James Eagle, say I will kill you.
You've put me on the spot here. I think I could be controversial and say JJ, but I think I'd probably get shouted off the website. So
yeah,
I'll probably turn around and I'll go and say a heel nemesis. Just because I've always thought like we've always lacked a monster heel in that sort of that mould. Because when he was churning out those promos, he was just unbelievable.
Yeah, the amount of times I've tried to get Nemi to come back in a Gold Rush, every year I've written it, I've PM'd him and tried to get him back. And in fairness, he's the only person who ever replies to the PMs, but he just hasn't got the time, which is a massive shame because I'd love some of the new guys to see how good he is.
He was sensational at times, and I think I keep talking about myself, but like that first feud I had with him, it was like breaking through the glass ceiling for me, like being exposed to someone that good sort of drove me on to want to do better.
Yeah, going to be maybe a tag controversial here, but I think if Ollie carries on his development as a promoter, I think Taquito could be one to fulfill that monster heel role that we've been missing.
Just don't use an incest storyline, for God's sake.
Shit, better change our creative plans.
Okay, Matt, same question to you. One guy you would welcome back.
I mean, the ultimate controversial answer would be Hobo, of course, but I'm not going to say that because Bia will send me a Facebook message full of swearing. So I'm going to go for Snake Eyes. I thought Snakey was really underrated as a promoer. Obviously, I believe he might have taken the world title off the Saint as well, which puts him in my good books immediately. But he had great feuds with Chaos, and I think he'd really add something to the sort of upper mid-card region. I could see him feuding with maybe McManus, Kenty, Scorpion, myself maybe.
My choice, I'm going to say I'm going to be a little bit weird here. I mean, both of you, well, Matt will most likely remember him, but La Pulga Loco.
Oh, really?
That's an interesting shout.
Yeah. I mean, well, go on.
I mean, he did rejoin for a while as he was Andreas Mios, but then moved to the new site sort of, he came over, but he's just stopped promoing. I mean, I think he did, at the start of the association, I thought he had a really good start to things. He probably just tailed off a little bit towards the end, but that's because the association storyline sort of petered out into nothing, unfortunately. Cause
it was a shame of that storyline though, because it was at the time when it was the association versus like the Uprising, I think it was called. It was really good, and it was quite a fresh feud. But then all of a sudden, it just, like you say, it petered out. Like, I think the association turned on Hobo, because Hobo didn't like being heel, and it all just sort of petered out into nothingness, which was a shame because it was the angle at the time.
Like, yeah, the high point of it was the Cobra heel turn to win the TAW world title with the association. I think that was when they turned on Hobo. But the problem was that Cobra had to leave after a month or so we couldn't really play the storyline out to how it wanted. I mean, I wondered why JJ was so keen for Solomon to shoot up the card a bit, but that now explains it.
Alright, since we've all answered our questions, several being odd, one question from me. Okay, who do you, Matt, Bia mentioned 2 weeks ago, about 10 people who could instantly go for the world title. If all of them were eliminated, name 2 guys you would put up straight away into the top feud. Actually, no, scratch that. If you could make any one champion, the top champion, who has never been champion, who would you do it, and how? Who would it be, and how would you do it?
Never been champion in 6WF or 6W CW.
Never been the top champion in any company.
Right. I think for me the obvious choice would be Mr. Kenty, and I'll explain why in a minute, but the other name I'd throw in there was the man who was in the main event of Betrayal in the 6WF title match, because Marshall has never won a world title either. I go for him first. Marshall is, again, a really fantastic promo, as I've said, and he's really picked up his game, which is showing that he can go with the storyline. So I don't want to reveal too much because he's a current one.
Okay.
So Kenty, having just dropped the freeweight title, I think he really does have the potential to go shoot up to the next level. I mean, I talked to quite a few of the guys, obviously, because they're commissioners, so I have to. I don't mean that. I really enjoy talking to them all the time.
Especially me.
Yeah. And I know a few of the older heads, as it were, in terms of experience, have all said to me that Kenty is the real deal, and I couldn't agree any more, to be honest. As to how I book it, Beer is obviously the head of creative, so I'd have to run it past him. But I'd have Kenty going as he is at the moment, to be honest, just sort of slowly building his way up the card. I think he probably, after a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more feuds, he needs that feud with one of the big names to really propel himself through the glass ceiling, as it were. I think a great match would be, I'd like to see Kenty versus Hero. I think that'd
be good.
I see a lot of similarities in face Kenty to I do Hero when he's a face, and I think they'd match up really well, especially with Hero's new character, which is sort of the whole anti-hero thing, and I think he'd go really well against Kenty, who is the embodiment of what Hero hates.
Sainty? Who would you push up to be champion, and how would you do it?
this is like